Imagine this. You're walking across the sand of Israel when suddenly you stumble upon evidence that confirms a story written thousands of years ago. For centuries, skeptics claimed the Bible was nothing more than myth and legend. But time and time again, archaeology has shocked the world with discoveries that confirm the historical reliability of Scripture. Today, we'll explore not one, but several of the most shocking biblical archaeological discoveries of all time. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because the last discovery might just be the most powerful of all. Our journey begins in 1947, with a shepherd boy throwing a rock into a cave near Qumran. To his surprise, he heard the sound of breaking pottery. Inside, he discovered jars containing scrolls over 2,000 years old. These were the Dead Sea Scrolls, some of the oldest biblical manuscripts ever found. Portions of nearly every Old Testament book were preserved, including Isaiah, Jeremiah, and the Psalms. Why was this shocking? Because the scrolls prove the accuracy of the Old Testament. Even after centuries of copying, the words we read today match almost perfectly with these ancient texts. It was as if God himself had hidden them in the desert to silence the critics at just the right time. Next, we turn to Jericho, one of the oldest cities in the world. For years, skeptics laughed at the biblical account of Jericho's walls collapsing after Joshua's army marched around them. But in the 20th century, archaeologists found evidence that Jericho's walls did, in fact, fall outward, something almost unheard of in ancient sieges. Even more shocking, grain storage jars were discovered, filled and unburned, suggesting the city fell suddenly during harvest time, just as the Bible records in Joshua chapter 6. Coincidence? Or confirmation that history matches Scripture? In 1993 at Tel Dan, archaeologists unearthed a broken stone inscription written in Aramaic. On it were the words, House of David. Before this discovery, some scholars insisted King David never existed, claiming he was just a mythical hero. But here was hard, carved evidence proving not only David's existence but also his dynasty. History itself was shouting, David was real, and the Bible's record of him is trustworthy. In 1990, a construction crew uncovered a tomb south of Jerusalem containing an ornate bone box, or ossuary. Inscribed on the box were the words, Joseph, son of Caiaphas. Most scholars agree this was a burial box of Caiaphas, the high priest who presided over Jesus' trial. To hold in your hands the name of the very man who condemned Jesus is chilling. It reminds us that these are not fictional characters. They were real people making real decisions in real history. For centuries, skeptics claimed Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor who sentenced Jesus to death, was only a made-up figure. But in 1961, at Caesarea Maritima, archaeologists discovered a limestone block with Pilate's name and title engraved in Latin. This single stone silenced centuries of doubt, proving Pilate was a real historical figure. Another powerful reminder that the Bible's pages are not myth. They are rooted in actual history. 2 Kings tells us King Hezekiah built a tunnel to protect Jerusalem's water supply during the Syrian siege. In the 1800s, explorers rediscovered this tunnel, stretching 1,750 feet beneath the city of David. Inside was an inscription describing the workers meeting in the middle, exactly as the Bible records. Walking through this tunnel today, you can still feel the urgency of a people preparing for a war, and the faith of a king who trusted God. In the 1980s, archaeologist Adam Zertel uncovered a strange structure on Mount Ebal. It matched the description of an altar from the book of Joshua. Charred animal bones and pottery found at the site suggest sacrificial worship. Could this be Joshua's altar, where Israel renewed their covenant with God? Many believe so. If true, it would be one of the oldest biblical worship sites ever discovered. In 2004, workers fixing a sewage pipe in Jerusalem uncovered stone steps leading to the pool of Siloam, where in John chapter 9, Jesus healed a blind man. For centuries, skeptics mocked the story as legend, but here was the pool buried under the city, confirming yet another detail of Scripture. Visitors today can walk where Jesus performed miracles, turning Bible reading into living history. Excavations in Capernaum revealed a simple first-century home with graffiti etched into the walls. Prayers and dedications to Peter. Scholars believe this house was transformed into a place of Christian worship, possibly the home of Peter himself. where Jesus healed his mother-in-law. From fisherman's house to church, it stands as a reminder of the gospel's power to transform lives. Beneath the streets of modern Jerusalem lies the pilgrimage road, excavated beginning in 2004. This was the main street used by Jewish worshippers going up to the temple. Many believe Jesus himself walked this road during his final days before the crucifixion. Imagine the footsteps of thousands of pilgrims, and among them, the quiet, steady steps of Messiah. Even in recent years, discoveries continue. At Shiloh, artifacts have been uncovered that may point to the location of the tabernacle. In Jerusalem, clay seal impressions were found bearing the names of King Hezekiah and possibly the prophet Isaiah. And at Matzah, archaeologists found a temple complex strikingly similar to Solomon's temple described in 1 Kings. Each of these discoveries keeps adding weight to the historical reliability of the Bible. But now, the discovery that shocks many the most. In 2017, archaeologists announced the discovery of Dead Sea Scrolls Cave 12. Though the scrolls have been looted in antiquity, the cave contained jars, fragments, and wrappings identical to the earlier Dead Sea Scroll finds. This means more scrolls may still be hidden in the Judean desert. Could there be untouched biblical manuscripts waiting to be uncovered? The possibility is staggering, and it shows us that archaeology is still catching up to the Bible. These discoveries are not just artifacts. They are testimonies. They show us that the Bible is not a book of fairy tales, but a record rooted in real places, real events, and real people. From Jericho's fallen walls to the words of Isaiah preserved in desert caves, archaeology continues to confirm Scripture. Which of these discoveries shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bible History Mysteries, because together, we'll keep uncovering the truth where faith meets history. This video is for educational purposes only. All discoveries mentioned are based on published archaeological findings and scholarly consensus. Interpretations may vary, and while archaeology confirms much of the Bible's historical background, faith ultimately goes beyond what stones and artifacts can tell us.